Good.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Hey, we're coming here with a great podcast. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to refer the show to your friends, neighbors, relatives. Tell them to subscribe. You can go to iTunes or a million different places. The podcast is syndicated across the web. And, it's free for an unlimited time, so you should sign up now while you can still take advantage of that great deal. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, hit the bell notification button. It gives you a special warm feeling that flows over you. It makes you feel like you're part of a giant family. But the great thing is the Chris Voss Show does not judge you. So there you go. Also go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. Your groups over there. Also our groups all over Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever those kids are up to with that social media thing they do. You can follow us over there. Today we have an amazing CEO and founder on the show. His name is Tom McMurrain. He is the CEO and founder, as I mentioned, of CMDX.cc. Welcome to the show, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Great to be on your show.
And Tom, did I get your last name correctly?
Nobody ever does. Don't worry about it. It's McMurrain. You pronounce it without the A. So.
Tom McMurrain.
McMurrain. There you go.
There you go. There you go. That will get
the grandpa came across and said add the A, and that just screwed everything up.
Well, that's what the cutting room floor for edit is for. That's what we call it, Tom. So we'll fix that in post. So welcome to the show. Those of you who are watching live right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, feel free to shoot us your questions over to our channel. And if they're good questions, they may appear on the show. So I think we have one already. Anyway, guys, Tom, give us your .coms. Tell us more about what you do and how you do it.
So I've been a 30-year entrepreneur. They say an entrepreneur looks for problems and creates solutions, and I've loved working for myself. I've successfully been unemployed for 30 plus years. And, as I say, I went to the graduated from School of Hard Knocks. I went to the Rode Hard and Put Up Wet Scholar program. I don't know, as an entrepreneur, I think you fail more than you succeed sometimes. And I've had an opportunity to work, with amazing people, have incredible mentors and that have really guided me. And, I think the wisdom you gain from, going through two special times, like I was able to participate in the development of the internet, watch that evolve, and then ultimately get into blockchain technology and cryptocurrency and really very clearly see the similarities of the two technologies. And I don't know. I just been married 30 years. I got one kid at the U.S. Naval Academy. I got one prepping for West Point, and got a beautiful wife. I've been very blessed. My wife has kept the lights on when we've been poor as an entrepreneur, and I've bought the nice cars when we've been rich as an entrepreneur. So it's the story of an entrepreneur, I guess.
That's awesome, Sauce.
Yeah.
And then for those of you guys listening, give everyone your website so that people can find it, because in the podcast they'll pick it up on audio.
Yeah, well, CMDX is CMDX.cc. I put a custom domain in there so we can really have people understand what's going on with CMDX. CMDX is it's a rewards company. It's a membership organization, and we reward people for health and business activities. It's a pretty simple concept. We've merged the business models of AARP, PayPal, and Amazon and Amway all into one. So
wow,
if you can figure that ingredient.
I'm trying to square that in my head. So it's good thing you're here to explain it.
When I put a lot of ingredients in the bowl when I start cooking, but yeah. So.
Well, I get the AR. I think I qualify for the AARP part because I'm 50. I started getting those
they knew
emails.
The minute I turned 50, it was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I'm not that old. But so tell us, what it is you guys do and how and why you do it.
Well, I got into cryptocurrency and, in 2015, I bought my first crypto in 2011, and really that was after reading the Satoshi Nakamoto white paper. And I said, if I can send money to somebody else without needing permission from a bank, that's going to be powerful. And I remember when I did my first transaction and I was like, this is going to be big, and back in 2011, 2015, if you were involved in crypto, they thought you were a drug dealer, if you were in porn, or you were a terrorist. It was one of those three. My wife and I would go to parties. I'm like, yeah, I'm in crypto. My wife be like, don't say that, please. don't even go there.
Now
But,
everyone wants to hug you and ask you for
nowadays,
advice, huh?
everybody
Yeah.
loves you. They're like, oh yeah, what's the next best one? And then all your friends are now experts in crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
just
of my friends are still experts in crypto. The other
yeah.
are about down by half right now. So that's another
Hey,
story.
I want to say this. This is the smallest drop it's ever done.
That's true. That's true. I've watched it go
This
up
is the
and down
smallest.
and
I hate. I mean, people are like, "Oh my God, it dropped 50%." I was there when it went from 121 back down to $1.26.
Mhm.
I was there when it went from 20,000 back down to 3,300.
Yeah.
This is a it has gotten to a point where Fibonacci's in play, and this is a 50% pullback. Who cares? This
So
thing's
explain
getting
what
it's
Fibonacci is, because I don't know what it is.
well,
I like you didn't go
Fibonacci
to
is
school.
we use the retracement theories,
Oh.
of expansion and contraction theories of
Oh.
Fibonacci. I think Fibonacci invented multiplication or something like that.
Oh.
If you research him, it's amazing. All of the elements of Fibonacci that come into nautilus shells and the rings of trees, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
that's another podcast.
Stay in school, kids. Don't be like Chris Voss.
No, but if I was a kid and Fibonacci, I think is important. I
There you
would
go.
study that. Yeah.
There you go. Well, we talked pre-show about how you and I both tried to enter the stock market and be stock traders, around Black Monday. so, so we picked the wrong time for that.
I
But
know.
we have an interest in this
They
sort of
said, "Here,
thing.
Tom's coming. Let's crash the market."
Yeah, yeah. I
Bad
was
day.
Yeah, that was an interesting time to try and get into the stock market business, but it was an interesting time overall. So, so you guys built in. I'm looking at your website. It says smart currency for better health and more wealth. You
Mhm.
guys are a global membership organization that rewards its members for health and business related activities.
Yeah.
Uh, Give me an idea of how that applies and how you put it into application.
All right. So we're all used to rewards. We get rewards from our grocery stores. We get rewards from our airlines. Our credit cards. Kids get rewards for gaming. So we're used to earning points. And my thought was, Bitcoin when it first came out, and I'm not a technical person. I mean, I've never built a computer loading software. I remember loading, Windows and stuff like that. But my software skills are limited to like control V and control C. Control B I think is bold, but just to give you an idea. But the reality is, when I looked at Bitcoin, I was like, there's just no way people are going to go buy a fancy graphics card, set up a rig in their house, and mine cryptocurrency,
Mhm.
much less download, node software. Nobody's going to do that. That's just not, that's going to be limited to, that's not for the masses. And so when I started looking at crypto, I said, what do we do for the masses? How can they earn it? Get this. You know what that is, right?
That would be
A Fitbit.
a Fitbit,
Right.
or a watch, yeah, yeah.
That's a mining device, actually.
Ah,
Because if you hook that up to our website and you go exercise, you generate points, and points turn into cryptocurrency.
well, if you see my
And
fat face, I won't earn anything. No, I'm just
so
kidding.
I looked at that and I said, if I could turn human activity into mining, we
Mhm.
could have something very successful. Because, there's, and we'll talk about this, I guess, later in the show about, the dynamics of creating a cryptocurrency. But the reality is this: distributing the cryptocurrency to the masses where they actually feel like they have ownership of it and it's something they've worked for is very important. It's an important psychological dynamic. And whereas some companies do these airdrops and they give it all away for free, when you get something for free, you don't value it. But when you go walk a mile and you earn a point, or you go burn 300 calories and you earn a point, and at the end of the month you've gotten 50 points and you've made $550, so you go, wow, that was where I so my definition of mining is when you exchange energy for value.
Mm, that's pretty cool. That's
So
pretty darn cool.
I like to dumb it down. I'm not, like I said, I can go to college. I barely graduated from high school. I was most likely not to be in class. And but I speak in layman's terms and I go, this is your new mining device.
Nice.
Forget the fancy mining. Or, hey, Chris, you want to join CMDX? You say yes. I get rewarded with tokens. I just
Nice.
exchange energy for value, right?
Wow. So now, how with what sort of how can I use these points? I guess.
So the points, they just like an airline translate into what? upgrades,
Mhm.
or with us, they translate into tokens.
Mhm.
And so with our tokens, you can go to the marketplace and you could spend them. We have an Amazon style marketplace for health providers that have
Okay.
health products and services. Um, or you could go to an exchange and you could sell them and turn them into Bitcoin or Ethereum and go spend them on your credit card.
Mm.
So they're real money, you know,
Mhm.
at the end of the day. And that's the difference, I think, between us and a typical rewards points program is ours are real money.
Mhm. Now, there's some conversation that's on your website about turning your health data into wealth. Are you hijacking what some of these other companies are doing? Like, not hijacking in a bad way, but basically doing what a lot of these companies are doing, where they're reselling our data and stuff?
Well, we're doing it on a permission-based, situation where you basically say, "Hey, I'm willing to." So we partnered with Amazon Web Services on their AI,
Oh,
and
wow.
we have a assistant called Brittany, and Brittany will ask you 50 questions.
Mm.
At the end, she'll and the basic questionnaire, and then it goes up a little bit more and a little bit more, and by the fifth questionnaire, it gets a little bit more
Mhm.
detailed, but you get rewarded with points for each questionnaire that you complete.
Mhm.
But
I've
it
dated a Brittany or 2, and they always have 50 questions.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you.
Always the Brittany's.
It's a funny story. Anyway, the questionnaires are, they're pretty basic, but that data goes into a de-identified data file. It takes your name and your personal information off of it. But when you go to our marketplace and you hit recommended by Brittany, she will only serve up the stores that are interest of you based on your answers.
Oh,
So
wow.
we use your answers as a way to filter it, and then we reward you. So you're basically entering into an information lease agreement with us to
Mm.
lease your data to us, and we're paying you for that.
Wow. I mean,
So
hey, at least you're making money. You're giving away to Facebook and all these
nobody else is
places for
paying you for
free,
your data
Apple
but
and stuff.
CMDX.
Like, Apple's just
CMDX is
sitting
the
over there
first company
going
paying you for your data.
Apple's just
I'm just
sitting
going
over
to
there
put
with
it out
dollar
there.
bills going, "Yeah, baby, we cashing in,
Or
thanks."
crypto tokens. Forget those
Yeah.
dollar bills. Those dollar bills depreciate in value.
Yeah. And you paid us for the phone that's tracking it.
Yeah,
Nice. What a
exactly.
deal. Yeah. So this is pretty brilliant. So they can use it on the different things. Now, I noticed that you have a reward system if you bring people into the CMDX
Mhm.
system. How does that work?
So that's our ambassador program. When you join CMDX, you can come as a member, you can come as a provider, put a store on our marketplace, or you can be an ambassador, or you
Oh,
can be
wow.
all the above. Ambassadors are opening up their villages, they're opening up their cities, they're opening up their countries. These are people that say, hey, we want to promote CMDX, and they get rewarded $50 for every member that they enroll. And so that's our cost of acquisition, $50 to put that in cryptocurrency. And the reality is, people, when they can take ownership of their money and they can take ownership of their health, they're excited about it. And so it's worked really well. We have 326,000 members in mostly Africa, Philippines. We don't do business in the United States because they haven't figured out whether they want crypto in the United States yet. But I think Africa is wide open. There's 1.4 billion people there. India is wide open. There's really great markets where people are hungry and they want opportunity.
Yeah. So, so how does cryptocurrency is this cryptocurrency part of the model? Does that play in? Do you end up
Yeah,
owning any, or how does
yeah,
that work?
we're an ERC20 token. We ride on
Okay.
top of the Ethereum blockchain,
Oh,
and
wow.
we're in the top 1/10 of 1% largest tokens. We're in the top 400 out of 400,000 tokens.
Wow.
Our goal is to be in the top 100 by the end of the year, and I believe Bitcoin is kind of like I come from the internet days, and so this may date some of y'all, but I believe that Bitcoin is the AOL of cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
It proved the model. It's got some technological limitations. They're trying to build layers on top of it. But honestly, and when you look at it, you go, it's got a lot of limitations. Ethereum, on the other hand, is the second generation. I call that the Apple of
Mhm.
cryptocurrency. Bitcoin kind of stops at there's blockchain and then there's digital money. And then with Ethereum, you got blockchain and you got digital money and you got dApps and you got NFTs and you got DAOs and you got all these applications. So it kind of reminds me of a Steve Jobs business model where they're like, hey, we can build everything on top of Ethereum.
Mm.
And Vitalik Buterin, I think, is just brilliant. Of course, Satoshi Nakamoto, nobody knows who he is because he's anonymous, or she.
Well, no, somebody knows who he is.
Yeah, somebody knows. Yeah,
It's not me.
it's not Craig Wright. Okay,
That's not me.
and I'll probably get sued for saying that.
It might be me. I don't know. It's not me. I'm not that smart enough. I can barely do basic math.
I don't know. Crypto is it's probably going to be 20 times more disruptive than TCP/IP, which of course is the technology that Tim Berners-Lee introduced in the late 80s that created the internet.
Yeah.
Blockchain is going to disrupt the financial industry. TCP/IP disrupted the publishing industry, and the publishing industry is a tick on a dog's back compared to the financial industry.
Yeah, Ethereum is built to have all sorts of blockchain stuff built on it. We have a lot of people that are on the show that talk about, the different companies and stuff they're building and how it's just a more efficient sort of system.
But let me say this: the biggest crypto hasn't been released yet.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So that's just
No, we're 1994 right now. We're still in Netscape. We're still in AOL. We're just past Hotmail.
Oh, wow.
Very few people have the balls to say it, but they say that what is the killer app of cryptocurrency? Nobody wants to say money. I'm saying money, currency,
cash, currency?
No, currency, exchange of value. Nobody wants to say it because they don't want the governments getting all freaked out because the governments don't want their fiat currency replaced. Of course, all the governments are now looking at CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies now, because they know it's coming.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
There's a mass exodus. By the end of 2023, we're looking at the tipping point. 13% of the world involved in crypto.
So basically, we're still at that point where we have those modems that scream when they do the dial-up.
Exactly. Yeah, we're at 3% adoption right now on crypto.
Oh wow, yeah. It's I know I'm in the tech world with a lot of tech nerdy Silicon Valley people, so it seems like everybody's into it on my feeds. But that's interesting. We're only 3%.
But if you ask 100 friends, do they own crypto? Less than 10 of them will say yes.
Yeah, mine do. Like I think if you ask 100 of my friends, like 99 do. But that's the pool I've swum in for the last 12 years, where it's all the Silicon Valley people, nerds. But I got into. I think I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013. I think it was.
Yep.
And then it went to 600, and I was like, this is great, and did a bunch of interviews on it. What else haven't we touched on about your company that can that we should be telling people to entice them to go over there and check that out?
Well, I think that NFTs is a big subject. We're getting into NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and those are ones that you can sell, art and things like that. We're going to do something a little bit unique. We're going to do we're going to use we have a term called universal basic data income. Maybe that's what we ought to talk about. We heard Andrew Yang with one of the presidential candidates talk about universal basic income. Here's the problem I have with that. When you give people money for free, what do they do with it? Absolutely nothing valuable. They spend it on stuff. You look at lottery winners, they get lottery and most of them are broke within 5 years. But I think universal basic data income, if a government, I was working with some presidential candidate from Trinidad, and I was talking to her about, hey, if we can just get people to exchange value, energy for value, then they'll value what you're giving them more. And if we could say, hey, let's create a dynamic in the government wants information. That's what the government wants. So if they could pay for information, they could say, hey, tell us if you've been sick this month, or tell us if you've had a baby, or tell us if you've gone to college, or if you're enrolled in college. We want to know. And if they had that kind of live input coming in, that live data, that would be very valuable to a government. And I think the first government that adopts that model, not universal basic income, but universal basic data income, they're going to win. Okay. And we know all you got to do is put a mobile phone on somebody and it'll get all the data that you want.
That's true.
It knows more about you than you know about you.
I always love people that are like, I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't want to chip in me. And you're like, you have a phone that's tracking you everywhere and your
I know.
every thought and every
They
second.
they
Like
know
you,
everybody you bumped in that has the vaccine.
yeah, like you, it's a wonder it doesn't inject the vaccine to you right there in the
Right.
spot. That's probably what they should do. So this is pretty interesting. CMDX.cc. You guys can find out more about his company. Um, uh, and I'm looking over some of your materials here. The referral bonus plan that you guys have, where you can bring people into the organization.
That's the ambassador
Um,
program. Yeah.
the ambassador program, your business model, the fungible tokens thing is pretty interesting. Everybody asked me about those today. It seems like a lot of people don't really get it. Looks like you guys have an article explaining what the future of is it and stuff like that. How do you feel? We talked a little bit before the show about Bitcoin. How do you feel about the future of what it is? Because there's a few people running around, going, oh, it's going down again. But then it bumped up the other day when Elon said some stuff again.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, there's only one thing that makes Bitcoin go up in value, and that's demand, people buying it.
yeah.
And when there's people that believe in it, I mean, the funny thing about cryptocurrency in general, there's really no fundamentals to it.
Mhm.
It's just supply and demand.
Mhm.
And if you have a fixed supply and there's more demand coming in, if there's more cash flow coming into it, it's going to go up in value naturally. Bitcoin added a zero to its wealth every 2 years. Okay. Your bank account didn't do that. And it's going
Mhm.
to continue to do that every 2 years because of the way Satoshi Nakamoto programmed it. It's going to have these halvings. It's going to make it more scarce, and more people are going to realize it, and more money is going to pour into it. I believe Bitcoin's got $1 million per coin potential.
Hmm.
But I think Ethereum probably has more than that. And I think there are others that have 100, I love Bitcoin. I'm invested in it. I'm invested in Ethereum. I'm invested in over 500 different cryptos, you know.
Mhm. Oh, wow.
Um,
There's
so,
500.
well, I learned that from the internet. You don't know
Yeah,
which
yeah.
we invested in 200 companies in the internet, and one of the companies that we invested in ended up selling out at $2 billion just recently.
Yeah.
So you don't know which one's ultimately going to become the best. So the best thing to do is spread your risk.
Or which one's Elon Musk is going to tweet out about when he tweeted
Yeah,
about
or
Dogecoin.
wait till Jeff Bezos tweets it out, or wait till one
Yeah.
somebody else does, or Cristiano Ronaldo. What's he gonna do? We never know.
Yeah. I was trying to catch the Dogecoin,
Dogecoin, yeah.
thing when Elon had started doing it. It was like the middle of the night, and I was like, I probably should buy that. And my Coinbase account doesn't hold Dogecoin, and I
Yeah,
was trying to get signed up with a bunch of other providers, and they would not accept my ID
yep.
over the thing, and it's probably because I lost some weight, but I couldn't get it picked up in time, and it went woof, and I missed it by that much.
Well,
So
it's cheap now. So if
yeah,
you're
there you go.
if you're a long run, I tell everybody, I say my idea of the perfect portfolio is if I could put $1,000 in the top 500. Just go to Coin Market
Mhm.
Cap, pick out the top 500 minus the stable coins, and put $1,000 in each one, and that'd be 500 grand. It say, okay, you don't have 500. I got 50 grand. Do 100 in each one. You know.
Mhm.
The challenge is, of course, finding all the exchanges that you can buy them on and how you can acquire them. With DeFi, you can buy just about any token now through DeFi.
Hmm.
But I think we don't know which one's going to be the biggest one.
Wow. How do you spell DeFi, by the way? Asking for
DeFi,
a friend.
DEFI,
Token buy.
DeFi.
I'm gonna
No,
bring
DeFi
that up.
like
There it is. Okay, it
DeFi.
spelled it for me.
Yeah, DE.
Um, I'm gonna check that out because yeah, I really got burnt on that whole. I thought Coinbase had at least most of the major stuff, and I was like, what?
Well,
Uh,
I think a lot of people use VPNs, virtual private networks, and they
uh,
log on to some of the other exchanges that are around. There's some good ones. P2P, B2B is doing business around the world. Binance, of course, you get
yeah.
access to just about everything.
Binance was the one that wouldn't take my ID. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I've got to go.
they'll let you do 2 Bitcoins a day without an ID. So I
Oh,
think that'll change one day. But you can use a VPN and access Binance all you want.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Anything more you want to tell us, Tom, about your company and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, well, I would say this. one thing we're doing is we're helping people in the emerging growth markets. We don't do business in your EU countries or the United States just because of the regulations and people that are not figuring it out yet or trying to protect their turf. Africa, we're big in Nigeria. There's 285 million people in Nigeria in the state in a state the size of Texas. So when something spreads there, it spreads very quickly.
Wow.
But when you look at the markets that are available to us, there are incredible markets of people that are hungry and they need organized financial services, and that's what we want to provide. So when people sign up with CMDX, they get $25 for signing up for free. Wow. CMDX, and they can log in and they get a wallet. They get a Bitcoin wallet, an Ethereum wallet. And our clients are not terrorists. They're not drug dealers. These are people that are trying to live, and so we're real excited. The stories that we've heard from, Gretchen buying her first gas stove to, a gal that bought a set of dishes with something that enclosed them so they would stay sterile, to people who can boil water. We had one guy, Ronaldo, who bought a solar panel. This is the kind of stuff we're doing. It's not, our company is not a gold chain Ferrari, fancy shoe wearing company. Let's show people how to make money. And, they can register for CMDX for free. It's $50 to sign up, which is a lot of money for some of them. But they can take that $50 and they can go to the exchange right now and they can buy tokens. We always have 100 to 200% discount on our tokens that they can buy them on the exchange, and they can turn around and make 100% on their money by enrolling a new member. And we just built in this formula. We just said, hey, we'll give you a discount if you buy the tokens from the exchange and enroll a new member. And it's working really, really well. And, I would say the majority of our clients don't really get the universal basic data income concept yet. They do understand the Fitbit concept. They do understand refer the member concept. And they do understand set up a store on our marketplace and be able to accept our crypto for payment. And I don't know. I have, and I'll say this very boldly, I have one of the only fully working ecosystems in the entire crypto economy. I mean, I have talked with some of the biggest crypto guys in the industry, and they're like, crap, you've built an entire e-commerce system. You have an entire marketplace. You have 5 different ways that people can mint your tokens and earn them without being a nerd, and it's really working well. I'm going to take the industry by surprise, and we will be the largest health cryptocurrency in the world. There's no doubt in my mind, because we have cracked the code. There's like 5 things that when you create a crypto, I mean, if you're going to create play God for a minute, say, I'm going to create an ecosystem. What are you going to do? First thing you're going to want is a river. You're going to want water. And you gotta look at it like that. And so when I went through, played a little bit of God, and I said, okay, how do we build a crypto? Well, number one, we got to have a way to distribute it to the masses. So we need distribution of our cryptocurrency. We got to have a way people can mine it. But we don't have to have, they don't want to have to buy fancy rigs. They can't in Ethiopia. Ivory Coast, the government hasn't even approved any of their IDs. Their IDs are all expired because the government hasn't issued any new IDs to anybody. Okay, so how do you take a person like that that has an outdated ID and bring them into the modern world? And we can do that. They sign up to our website. They have their own wallet. They're now their own bank. They can actually start transacting business. That doesn't matter to us. And so anyway, but the challenges are distribution. And then you have to look at usability. How can you create ways they can use it? So we created our Amazon style marketplace. Then there's retainability. Here's the problem. You give people your token. You know what they go do? They immediately go sell it for Bitcoin, especially if you've opened that opportunity. And I go, well, mine has like 1,000 to 10,000x potential because it's trading at the very bottom. Why would you want to trade it for something that's got 20 or 50x potential? And then, so you really have to educate people to understand that, retainability, you got to put mechanisms in place that incentivize every aspect of creating a cryptocurrency. So incentivize them telling members, other people about it. That's distribution. incentivizing them to hodl it, which is an industry term, hold on for dear life. You don't want them to sell it into another crypto. So what do you do to incentivize that? Okay. You can do token burning or you can do staking. Those are the two options. And then there's the option of usability that I've talked about, create a store, create a way they can spend it without copying QR codes and long 35-digit addresses. How can I just click a pay button and a quick pay button and pay for my product and service, and it's instantly transferred with no fees. We've done that. And then I think the biggest challenge is, how do you get people to want to go to an exchange to buy your token? Yeah, I can do podcasts like I'm doing on your show and create awareness for it. And people will go to one of the two exchanges we're traded on and they'll buy the token. But how can I get people motivated to want to go buy it every day? And that's the one thing that we've cracked with our formula, is showing people how they can buy the tokens at a discount and go sell them at a premium. I mean, if I told you you could buy dollars for 10 cents right now on 5th Street in your city, would you not run there right now to go buy them?
Oh yeah, that'd be a great deal.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what you can do with CMDX right now, because we're trading about 90% off because of the pullback, and our members can go buy those tokens and they can go sell. They can buy them for 10 cents and they can sell them for $1. And because of this formula we've created, they can enroll. And it's not a passive return. It's an active return. They actually have to enroll a new member. They have to create brand awareness. They have to do training. There's energy involved, but they're still making 10 times their money by buying our tokens from the exchange.
Oh, wow.
And so that's worked out real well. And that's those are the dynamics. And I think the last dynamic is liquidity. Everybody who has a crypto, they go, does it have liquidity? How can I sell it? And with us, you can either buy products and services. That's one form of liquidity. You can sign up a new member. That's another form of liquidity. Or you can just go to the exchange and sell it. That's another form of liquidity. And we're not trading a lot. We're doing about $10,000 a day right now, but I see that increasing over the next 90 days.
Awesome sauce. That's amazing. Man.
Yeah, it's just, people think creating a crypto is easy. It's like, oh yeah, go create a crypto, put it on Pancake Swap, and you're going to be rich. No.
Well, no, you're right though in the ease of use that you've made it. Because I remember my friend set me up with my first wallet and stuff, and I'm like, what's going on here? And the fact that you guys have made it really easy through your system for people to get their wallet set up, to get their setup going. My friend was sending me that code, and I'm like, what the hell's going on with this thing? And he's like, I'm going to send you a couple bucks, and I'm like, this is the only reason I'm doing this is for the couple bucks, because you probably owe me for
send me $10 because this is giving me a headache.
Yeah, I think he owed me for lunch or something.
I need some aspirin.
This was his way of getting out of paying me back at lunch. Yeah. But no, I think this is great that you guys have this wonderful onboarding. You guys are in emerging markets, and the future is coming down the pipeline. So, Tom, anything more but you want to plug before we part?
Well, I think that if you're getting involved in crypto, understand that it's a very high risk industry. There are thousands of cryptos being created per year, probably more than that. I would say, you definitely want to look at the space that you're interested in, whether it's NFTs or if it's art, if it's finance, loaning money or whatever. There's going to be so many different niches involved in crypto. And I would just say that do your research and make sure you're getting involved in the right crypto and limit your risk. So that's one thing, just as a word of caution, because there's so many of them. And I was investing in a whole bunch of ones that were newly listed on CoinMarketCap, thinking that was a good idea. It was a bad idea. I think the best thing to do is just buy and hold. Don't be day trading. Don't try and game the market. Just buy and hold and understand where we are from a market timing standpoint. And you've got basically 30 months, the end of 2023, to build up your portfolio. And that's when 13% of the world will be involved in crypto. And the reason I say that is there's some big things that are happening. Of course, Starlink is going up, and that's going to give access to another 3 billion people for internet. It took 50 years to get 3 billion people online. In the next 5 years, another 3 billion people are going to come online.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing is, a big thing people don't know is in the next 3 years, the mobile phone will drop below $30 to manufacture. So the smartphone will get to a price point where companies can just give them away for free.
Yeah.
And when you get a free mobile phone from somebody, you know what you're going to sign? A 24-page EULA agreement. And it's going to say, we're going to track everything you do.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, there's a cryptocurrency wallet on that phone, and we're
Mhm.
going to track everything you buy. And it'll get to a point where everybody has a free phone with a free cryptocurrency wallet, and they're going to track everything. And you're going to do it because you just got a free mobile phone. And the masses will. We know that.
Yeah.
And the corporations know that. So
Mhm.
if I can give you a free phone, if you buy $100 of groceries at Kroger, I'm going to give you a free phone.
Yeah.
What a deal. But those dynamics, those macros that are coming into play are huge, because they say remember, it took 25 years for mass adoption with the internet. We're at what, we'll be at 2009. So we're at what, 12 years right now, 11 years. So 2023 to 2026, mass adoption by 2026. Cryptocurrency will have mass adoption 5 years earlier than the internet.
Oh, wow.
And we're talking not a $20 trillion industry. We're talking about a $100 trillion industry. We're talking something much bigger. And I'm just excited for CMDX. I'm excited because we're working in blockchain. People say, why don't you do business in the United States? Because there's 7 billion people around the world that are hungrier than the people in the United States. And unfortunately, we have to get our legislators to wake up and realize that cryptocurrency can create massive wealth for people. It can create massive taxable income. And that's really all the government cares about, is if you are going to create wealth, how the heck do we tax it? And that's what the governments are really trying to figure out. And it's a no-brainer. They just tax them through the exchanges, and the exchanges are going to be the holy grail for taxable gains. And so I don't know. I'm excited about the space. I'm optimistic about it. The whole mining, the whole energy thing. I think proof of stake is probably better than proof of work. I'll probably get all kinds of hate comments for that. Proof of work is more secure. I will give you that, but proof of stake is the future. And I think there's ways of validating transaction. Proof of work and proof of stake are ways of validating transactions. I think in the future there will become other ways of validating transactions with quantum computing and with using Bluetooth and mobile phones that will actually be more efficient than using computers or mainframes. And there's a couple companies out there that are already working on that. So excited about that space.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So give us your plug one more time, the internet
So we're
space.
CMDX.cc. You can just go there and you can learn more about CMDX. You can sign up for free. You'll get about 50 emails from us, so be ready. We're gonna let you know everything about us over a couple weeks. After that, there won't be many emails. I think it's pretty simple. We basically mash the models of a membership organization with Amazon, with PayPal, and with Amway. We track every single person that invites every single person to CMDX, and it's really cool because I can look at, there's 11 people that are responsible for 80% of the 325,000 people. It's really an amazing number when you think about that. But you can find us there, and we have about 100,000 people in our Facebook groups, and we're doing webinars every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time. So you can plug into those. I think it's CMDX.biz is our link to those. And I would just say sign up for the site. Once you're there, you'll get tons of email communication. You'll know where to sign up for the group and all that. But we're really focused on building the largest health cryptocurrency in the world. Our mission is to help people, be wealthier and live healthier. It's pretty straightforward.
There you go. Well, Tom, it's been wonderful having the show and share this data with us. Thanks for coming on and spending the time.
My pleasure, man. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
There you go. Guys, go check it out. CMDX.cc is the website. You can go ahead and check that out. And everything Tom's doing, this has been a pretty insightful thing. And yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit as more people go online, like you say, more people get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that good stuff. To my audience, go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, hit the bell notification button, go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. Go see all of our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, all those great places. You can find the Chris Voss Show being broadcast. Refer the show to your family, friends, relatives. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.